and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children over the age of 21, welcome to the Hop Nation USA podcast. I'm your host, Sam, and you are here for episode 31, I believe. Are we already at 31?
We are at 31.
All right, so we're here for episode 31. The audience is here for 31, and that's fantastic. You know what's interesting about the number 31? That's actually the name of a Dew Claw pumpkin beer.
It sure is.
It really is. It's also a prime number.
That is correct, it is.
Thanks, nerd.
Yeah, I got more if you want.
No, we don't need any more.
Nope, that's it.
That's all you get. You got your one in. You let off with that, and now that's it. So
Shot my wad in the first minute and a half.
You know what I got? There's 31 days in October.
Ooh, and flavors of Baskin-Robbins.
Spooky, no. I think that's 32 flavors at Baskin-Robbins.
I'm pretty sure it's 31.
I'm not sure.
that's okay.
How
Whatever it
spooky
is,
that?
they have a lot of flavors, and most of them are pretty damn good. So what's interesting is the theme for today's show is the Drunken Pumpkin. What's fun about that is that not only are we going to be drinking pumpkin beers on today's episode, but we're actually not going to be drinking the 31 from Dew Claw. But hey, there's another beer out there. That's one that the audience can try on their own.
There's also the 62,
Woo!
which is the Imperial Double version of that.
Yeah, I've had that too.
It's haunted.
Woo!
This is a very spooky show, so I guess before we go on, I should probably introduce my co-hosts who are just whistling in the wind over there.
No, spooky ghost noises.
I don't know if ghosts even talk, but to my right is Ghost Steve. He's here today. In spirit, at least.
In spirit. I get it.
So wait a minute. I get yelled at for making informative input to the show, and he makes a dumbass pun, and he gets huzzahs for it.
Yeah, nobody wants nerd facts, nerd.
Well, I like nerd facts.
Yeah, you didn't make a pun that was funny. You just said that
I was
31 was a
informative,
prime number.
and I helped to build the show.
You get your recognition when you make puns.
Yeah, you make a lot of them.
Yeah, so go back to making puns. Do you?
I do love me some puns.
All right then.
Too bad we don't have the pumpkin ale today. Not
Ah.
that that's an actual pun, but you know, it is the name of a beer from Dogfish Head, which that's another one we won't be drinking on the show today.
Nope.
So we're just gonna list all the beers that we're not drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that. I guess we just really don't have much to talk about
That's
today,
all-
so
that's all
let's
of segment
list
one.
everything we're not going to be drinking. To my left is Adam, and he is also on the show today. He is here in spirit, I guess, as well.
I am, and now that I've been given the green light to make puns all episode, I hope you guys are aware of what's going to come your way then.
Puns?
Nah.
Oh, so you're just gonna not do puns?
Maybe. I don't know.
So we're not drinking certain beers. We're not doing puns.
He's being vague, which is terrifying.
I guess. I wonder if this will continue throughout all October episodes. Probably. It's a spooky month, so what
Probably.
the hell.
Yeah.
But let's enhance the spookiness, and let's get into our first beer of the show. And I'm going to introduce this to everybody because I brought it.
Okay.
Great. What is it?
Now this is our first beer, and we are going to be drinking the Pumpkin Bread beer, which is a beer from O'Fallon Brewery. And this beer is a Dunkelweizen, and it is coming in at 5.4%. So that looks very exciting to me.
So where is O'Fallon's out of?
So the O'Fallon Brewery is out of St. Louis County, which is, as you can probably guess, is in Missouri.
Of course.
But they're actually in the city Maryland Heights.
Okay.
Let's get into this pumpkin beer, right? So this is a beer, and it's brewed with pumpkin and spices, and it says it's supposed to be naturally cloudy. So
Okie doke.
not going to be real clear, guys.
And you said it was 5.4, right?
Which does make sense for a Dunkelweizen. That's right in the wheelhouse.
Yeah. You probably don't know the IBUs on this.
It doesn't say on the bottle, and I did not look it up. So
I would assume it's low.
It's going to
Yeah,
be real
I'm
low,
gonna guess
though.
25-ish.
Most
Yeah.
pumpkin beers are very low in IBU.
And so are Dunkelweizen, so.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, a Dunkelweizen is a dark wheat beer. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't believe we've had one on the show. So it's going to be dark in color, but it's still going to have some of those banana, clove flavors that you would get from a traditional Hefeweizen.
I think we might have had one when you weren't here.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So
And I'm not here a lot, so
Right.
Speaking of, this is 3 weeks in a row.
3 in a
Starting
row.
a trend.
Hot damn.
Yeah. well, we'll see what happens next week.
Let's celebrate with a beer.
Let's celebrate with a beer. So we have the pumpkin bread beer
By O'Fallon's.
by O'Fallon's, and it is. I don't even know if I'd really call this cloudy. It's dark. There's not a lot of clarity, but when I'm thinking cloudy nowadays, I'm thinking like a New England style IPA that's naturally very cloudy. This just looks like a darker amber beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very clear, though. I don't want to call it hazy like a New England IPA or anything like that, but it is,
It is not crystal clear.
right. Yeah, it's translucent, but not transparent.
Translucent is a good word for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not opaque like a orange juice.
Head retention is very minimal on this.
Nil.
It's non-existent.
Doesn't exist.
The effervescence it's kind of there, but there's not much. On the nose, this is one of the best beers that I've smelled on this show in a long time.
This is straight up like those pumpkin spice cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoy those, so I really enjoy this.
Yeah, it's got a nice pumpkin nose to it.
It's almost crossing into ginger snap territory.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
A pumpkin ginger snap.
That's what I'm smelling.
That smells exactly like that. Ah,
All right.
what the hell? Let's give it a try.
Huh. That's a different pumpkin beer than I'm used to.
Yeah, it definitely is. It doesn't have a very strong pumpkin flavor to it, but it tastes malty and sweet.
Yeah.
Kind of like pumpkin bread would.
To me, the one thing that I find interesting on this is, in terms of mouthfeel, it definitely feels like a thinner beer than what I would be used to in a pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that full-bodied feel to it.
And I think that's because we're working with a wheat, technically.
Yeah, it's not what I would expect with a pumpkin beer, and that's not a bad thing. It's just unexpected.
It's refreshing. I tell you what, though, mine is a little bit on the chilly side right now. It's a little cold, which
Yeah.
I think might be masking some of the flavors. So before I take my next sip, I'm going to let it sit here for a little bit and just continue to breathe, continue to warm up a little bit, and hopefully some more of those flavors will come out. But it's, overall, it's refreshing. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's refreshing. I'm enjoying it so far.
Oh, I have no hate towards
yeah.
this beer right now.
I'm definitely getting that ginger snap flavor kind of continues on for me into the tasting.
So while we let these beers warm up a little bit, I think it's time for some upcoming events we need to talk about. First and foremost, one that I know that I'm going to, and I believe Steve is going, is the annual Brewing Up a Cure event.
Yeah, coming up October 23rd.
October 21st.
21st.
That would
It
be-
was 23rd last year, I bet. Which I also went to.
Yeah, it's October 21st down
Yeah.
at the PPG Winter Garden. And what year is this? Is this the 10th annual?
This is the 11th.
11th
Yeah.
annual.
Yes.
Very nice.
This is put on by the Trub Association, Three Rivers Underground Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is actually a homebrew event in the Winter Garden.
Yeah, that's what makes it completely different from other beer tasting events that we go to. This one is all home brewers.
Right.
And you will find Apis and Arsenal there.
Yeah, and there are usually one or two distributors that are there handing
Yeah.
out some of the beers
Yeah.
that you usually see at a bar or at a six-pack shop.
Right. But otherwise, it's all home brewers, and the other thing that makes it stand out is it's also a completely charity event as well.
It is. All proceeds go towards the fight against cystic fibrosis, which is a very admirable cause.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I really enjoy, not only is it a homebrew event, but the home brewers usually bring out the big guns for this event. They usually bring out a lot of experimental beers. They'll bring out beers that you wouldn't normally see. I know in years past I've seen chocolate cake beers. I've seen beers that are flavored with and taste like Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
I've seen dill pickle beers.
Yeah, that was last year.
And everybody is there. A lot of times they'll experiment a little bit, try something different, try something new.
Right. Believe there was also a corned beef.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a corned
Yes.
beef beer last year.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was very interesting. I'll
Yeah.
say that. And, I've had a number of meat beers now, and I will say that must be a pretty easy flavor to obtain in the beer if you're throwing that. I don't know if they throw it in the boil or they throw it in the fermentation, but they must be throwing literally pounds of corned beef in this beer to get that flavor, because that's exactly what it tastes like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they go about pulling those kind of beers off, because
No idea.
we had the Duke La Q on the show, and I think that one was based purely on spices.
I believe it was.
That was a dry rub.
Yeah.
And that was terrible. At least to me.
I liked it. But this corned beef beer, it was like more based on like the saltiness of corned beef and like trying to capture like almost a Reuben.
Yeah.
Minus the Russian dressing.
Right. And there are some ciders there as well.
Yeah.
Both homebrew and by...
and Arsenal.
Yes. But on top of that, there is also food there. There's live music, and there are auctions available to help raise additional funds towards the fight against cystic fibrosis. I haven't won squat in all the years that I've gone, but damn it, I feel lucky this year.
Well, good luck.
I'm actually going to
try.
try.
Maybe you find something you'll like.
Do they still do a silent auction, or is it just an auction where you buy, or like a raffle where you buy raffle tickets and put them in a bag and try to win a prize?
It is the bag style.
Because I won one time when we were there, Steve and I, the very first year we went, I won Steeler tickets, but that was in a silent auction.
Yeah.
So what I did is I pretty much just waited to put in my bid until they were collecting the sheets, and then I threw in the final bid and got the tickets that way.
Oh, so you sniped them.
I sniped them for sure.
Yeah, totally sniped them.
But you know what? It was for charity. I sniped them for charity. And plus, think about it this way. They were going to take that clipboard, and they would have ultimately gotten less money for charity had I not done that.
Right.
That is true.
Sam did the right thing. He also sniped Penguins package for somebody who wasn't even there. Bo had to donate to a charity for an event he didn't go to.
And he still has not been to.
Yeah, it still hasn't been to.
He needs to go. He needs to go. And actually, I encourage all of the listeners, if any of you are in the Pittsburgh area or even outside of the Pittsburgh area, you should definitely attend this event.
Yeah, tickets are still available, and definitely come check it out.
Yeah, it's a great cause. It's a great night. If you're coming from out of town, stick around. The Steelers are playing the next day at home, so make that a good weekend.
I'll be way out of town that weekend. I'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona. So unfortunately, I can't attend this year. But it is one of my favorite events of the year. And one of the things that I particularly like about this beer fest is that it includes food.
Yeah,
I don't know how long that'll last, because it seems like all of the ones that included food years ago have since been transitioning over to food trucks. But this one still includes the food, which is very nice.
I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to get a food truck inside the Winter Garden.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty safe.
Yeah, I think
true.
we're still safe that way.
That is true.
All in all, it's one of my favorite beer events of the year.
Yeah, it works really well, because what you do is you go, there's usually 3 walls of beer and then 1 wall of food. And so you make a lap.
Yeah.
And you do 3 walls of beer, get some food, and then make another lap, 3 walls of food.
It's pretty great.
It's a good system they have. Don't screw it up.
Now, an event that I have coming up that I know you guys aren't going to this year, but I've been to in the past, and it's something that I really enjoy, is the Beers of the Berg Winter Warmer. It's the complimentary event to the Beers of the Berg that they do every summer. So it's gathering up all of the Pittsburgh breweries and essentially stuffing them in a warehouse in Lawrenceville and giving them an opportunity to preview and try out all of their winter beers for the Pittsburgh community.
So the warehouse that they're in Lawrenceville, is that the same terminal warehouse that they had the main Beers of the Berg event last year?
It is not. This one is closer to the Strip District, actually. It's on 31st Street, so I think it's like right between the Strip and Lawrenceville.
Okay.
But, once again, giant warehouse. Throw the breweries in there and have them serve their beer. And I'm excited. This is one of my events. I try to go to as many of these as I can, only because there's beer fest now in Pittsburgh pretty much every weekend. So it's unless you really want to spend every weekend sampling beer, which as great as that sounds, I do have other things I like to do with my time and money. This is one that's great for me because you really get to sample, all of the winter beers that the breweries have to offer. And, I try to make it around to the breweries in the winter, but I tend to lean towards the ones that are closer to my house, and I don't really get to the outskirts too much. So they're beers that you might not get to try otherwise. And plus, you're going to have a lot of porters, a lot of stouts, a lot of spiced ales, Christmas ales. Yeah. And, those are some really, really great beers. And it's fun to see, what's going to be introduced in the Pittsburgh community, starting probably late November to early December. So this event is, I believe I said it earlier, but if I didn't, it's November 4th. And I believe tickets are still available for this event as well.
Yeah, like you said, it's a pretty good idea to like maybe just hit like Beers of the Berg every year, both the summer and the winter, because that gives you kind of a preview.
Right.
Especially with the number of breweries we keep opening up. I'm sure there's going to be breweries there in November that weren't there in May.
Correct.
And
right.
And if, even still, you're going to get new previews of stuff. Like I'm sure if Rusty Gold shows up,
they are on the list.
You're going to find something new from them that you weren't getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in May. So yeah, definitely an event I wish I could go to, but
I like the event because literally everyone is bigger than the last because more breweries keep opening, and they're all invited every time, which is great. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So if you don't have any plans on November 4th and want to join me down at the Beers of the Berg Winter Warmer, come one, come all, it's going to be a pretty good time. Unfortunately, food is not included with that one, so I'm just going to try to eat a shitload beforehand because, some of these events are a little bit dangerous. And I have to say, after the Beers of the Berg and the summer one that we went to, I was pretty tuned up after that.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to be, but let me tell you, there were so many delicious beers there, and I just wanted to try them all.
To be fair, as different from the summer one, being that you will be in the Lawrenceville area, there's plenty of places that you could go eat instead of relying on food truck food.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to go down early. I think it starts around 3 or 4 that day. We got the VIP tickets, so I'd like to go down there early, have a nice meal, even if I have a beer with the meal. It's something to just really get the juices going, but walk in there with a nice full stomach and ready to sample some good beers.
Yeah.
So, since you are going down there, will you be available for autographs?
I will. And more than likely, I'll be rocking the Hop Nation USA t-shirt. So come find me, get a business card, get an autograph, audition for the show, bring me a beer, point me in the right direction of a good beer that you tried that maybe I haven't tried yet, or just come and mingle. I'm a pretty happy person, so I'd be happy to talk to anybody.
So yes, you can go find Sam at the Pittsburgh Winter Warmer for the Beers of the Berg, but for the Brewing Up a Cure, don't come talk to me and Adam.
We're too busy drinking beers and eating food and sniping Steeler tickets.
Yeah, we're not sociable.
We'll be the grumps in the corner.
You guys better wear your shirts. I mean, you got to represent when you're down
no,
there.
we totally will, so people know not to talk to us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, don't talk to those guys. Hey, just look at the shirt. You'll know.
Oh, no, those guys.
Miscreants.
Yeah, but no, I guess we'll give autographs too.
Yeah, I will bring a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys know of anything else coming up? I know that's all we have on the docket, but are there any other events that you've heard of in Pittsburgh, beer-related, non-beer-related, that, we should share with the audience?
Well, if you're listening to this on Friday, like you should be, you'll know that the Great American Beer Festival is happening in Denver right now with all 3,500 beers. Which we're not going to, unfortunately.
Not going to, unfortunately. Have never been. Odds are, if you're listening to this in Pittsburgh right now, you're not going either. So I don't know how much time we got to spend on this.
So
that's just it.
What I'm hearing is we haven't gone yet.
Right, yeah. That's
next year.
That's a next year.
Next year, yeah.
I mean, look, we mentioned this last week during the trivia quiz. There are 3 airlines that go direct to Denver where you can get very affordable flights. So I think with the proper planning next year, we could definitely do it. The one thing that we would have to do first before we did anything was get tickets, because I know they sell out within probably 20 to 30 minutes. Very popular event, so we need to make sure we secured tickets before we plan any other part of this.
So we're going to have to use your sniping skills
Yeah,
to get tickets.
We're all going to have to use our sniping skills.
What we really need, not just for this, but for all future events, we need press passes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I'll do a live episode at Beers of the Berg next spring.
Oh yeah, I'll do a live episode anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
But,
Well, not anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going to Chili's.
I don't know. I was going to say, I might do one under an overpass. I don't care.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to Chili's.
I'll do one under the overpass by the Clark Bar for a tailgate episode.
Hey, tailgating live from PNC Park. Well, I guess now we'd have to wait till spring to do it because the Pirates have sucked their way out of another season. But we can do a tailgate for the Steelers. Anywho, let's get back to beer. We're getting off track here.
You're the only one getting off track. We're laser focused, especially on this O'Fallon's pumpkin bread the Dunkelweizen. I believe the temperature has come up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature has come up, and the flavor has come out. At least in my opinion, it has, because now I'm getting some more of that yeasty, pumpkin-y flavor. That's actually making this taste a little less like what'd you say, Fig Newton, pumpkin
Ginger
Fig Newton?
snap.
Ginger snap.
Pumpkin ginger snap, and more like pumpkin bread.
Not only that, but I believe, and this could just be me thinking stupidly, but I think the mouthfeel has gotten a little fuller now that it's warmed up a little bit.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that, Adam. I would agree with that a little bit. The mouthfeel is a little bit more pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting that myself, but I am getting more yeastiness and more maltiness, and it's starting to mingle a little better with the spice flavors.
I'm digging this at a warmer temperature than what I was when we first cracked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
this is a good beer. I'm enjoying drinking this.
I got no beef with this beer.
I've had other beers from O'Fallon's, and specifically I've had other pumpkin beers from O'Fallon's. They probably have 5 or 6 at this point.
Yeah,
And they're all very drinkable.
Yeah, we didn't mention it, but this is coming out of a pumpkin patch sampler pack. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called the Pumpkin Patch Sampler Pack. So if you're out at a beer distributor, check this out. It has the O'Fallon's pumpkin beer, the original ale. It has the pumpkin bread beer that we're drinking on the show now. It has the pumpkin latte, which is a coffee latte beer. And then it also has something really unique, a pumpkin saison, which I've drank all of the other ones because I bought the pumpkin pack. So
Pumpkin patch pack.
Pumpkin Patch Pack. So I can attest that they're all pretty damn good, and this one is no exception. So yeah, if you're out and looking for a good way to try a number of pumpkin beers in a variety pack, check out O'Fallon's Pumpkin Patch.
Do it.
That's pretty smart on their part because they're kind of gathering in everybody. You don't have to stray
Right.
to get other flavors. We've got them all here. O'Fallon's does. Come visit us at the end of the aisle.
But that's a great strategy though.
Right.
To your point.
Yeah, it's smart.
So really, the Pennywise strategy?
Yeah. We're all pumpkin down here.
Steve is doing sausage party impressions. It sounds like something right out of that movie. That movie sucks. All right.
Well, it does.
We'll get
Yeah, I
in-
don't know if anybody actually saw that movie.
No.
I watced it.
I watched it.
It blows.
It is trash.
It is not funny at all.
I didn't have to get past the trailer, and I could have told you that one. Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
I was hungover and I needed something to watch.
Alrighty. Well, that about does her for the pumpkin bread beer. So we'll be back after these messages. Which,
Wait.
well, hold on. There's not going to be any messages. That's what I was
What,
getting
we're
at.
sponsored?
No, we're not sponsored
Yeah.
yet. I'm just preparing myself for when we do get sponsored. So we'll be right
weeks.
back after these messages with no messages. You'll just hear a little tune, and then you'll hear us again in probably about 30 seconds, if not sooner. And we'll be back with another Drunken Pumpkin beer and some more talk about fall and beer, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, stay tuned. See you
Great.
soon. All right, we are back, gentlemen. We know it's October, and that means two things.
It's spooky out.
And postseason baseball.
That's what I was going to say, postseason baseball and pumpkin beers. Because the Drunken Pumpkin is the theme of the show today. So
Oh, I guess I was wrong.
Ooh, the Minnesota Twins.
So we got baseball, we got pumpkin beers, and we got the three of us talking about both. But let's sidebar on the baseball for a second.
Sidebar.
And get back to
Sidebar.
No, sideline. Sideline the baseball talk.
Wouldn't that be
well,
a
that's
foul
football,
line?
yeah. You do
Yes.
the foul line.
So let's foul line the baseball talk.
Okay.
Whatever, we'll do something with the baseball talk. Let's just stop talking about it and get back into the beer, because that's the most important thing we could talk about, because we have another Drunken Pumpkin beer here.
You really
ready
are
to
a
try.
Pirates fan, aren't you? Let's not talk about baseball. Let's talk about beer instead.
I'm a beer fan, not a Pirates fan.
Yes.
What are we drinking next, Esteban?
Our next spooky beer.
Minnesota Twins.
No, it's not the Minnesota Twins. It's coming from New Belgium. And this is the Voodoo Ranger special release, Atomic Pumpkin.
Brewed by the Colorado Rockies.
No.
They were also in the postseason.
They are. It's Rocktober.
Rocktober.
But the Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin is a pumpkin ale featuring cinnamon, pumpkin, of course, and something a little bit different, which is going to give it the atomicness, habanero chili peppers.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right. I can dig it.
It's coming in at 6.4% on the ABV
Whoa,
scale.
watch out. That's a whole % higher than that pumpkin bread.
I know.
Yeah.
It's got an IBU of 10. Yeah. So Adam's going to be happy.
I am going to be happy.
And it was brewed with nugget hops.
Hell, who doesn't love a good nugget hop?
Communists.
Probably.
That was easy. All right, next question. What else you got?
Mother lager.
No, don't you mention that on this show again.
Why? It was so good. You know, I was in the beer distributor the other day, and I actually saw an entire case of the Mother Lager. And I thought to myself, I'm like, imagine if you have never had that beer, and you're like, screw it. I'm just going to buy a case of it. It's on sale, or it's only, $30. We'll just go for it. And then you get home, and you have that first sip of Mother Lager, and not only do you have the rest of that bottle, but you have the rest of that case to drink.
You don't. All your friends do.
All your friends.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta try this beer.
All your
It's-
house guests.
Yeah, I won't even say anything. You just gotta try it. Oh, you opened it. You gotta finish it.
Guess what's going over somebody's house for a party?
Very true, very true. All right.
But back to a beer that doesn't eat butt. Wow, this Atomic Pumpkin is really clear.
Very,
Yeah.
very light. The head is existent.
It looks orange.
Yeah.
It's just orange. It's just like orange juice. But it's clear.
That doesn't look like orange juice. It looks more like apple juice.
No,
to
I
me.
mean, it's orange colored juice. Like, this is like
Oh.
juicy juice version of orange.
Correct. Like if you just took NyQuil and put it in a glass.
Dayquil.
Whatever.
I'm just saying,
No, it
one's
is
dark and
Dayquil.
one isn't. But yeah, this is Dayquil orange.
Dayquil, yeah.
Yeah.
Enemy of the NyQuil.
Champion of the puns.
It smells fantastic.
It really does. I like this nose a little better than the O'Fallon.
As do I. It's kind of got that pie crust smell to it.
Yeah. This one's definitely leaning more into the pumpkin pie than the
Yeah.
ginger snap.
I don't know. I'm not getting any type of pie or crust or anything. I'm
No?
getting a real funky flavor out of this.
Did you clean your glass?
Yeah, I cleaned it. I rinsed it out with water and then drank the water.
Did you clean your nose?
Ah. You got boogers?
Clear as day.
You smell them
Nothing.
boogies?
Nothing.
Ah, boogies.
I'm smelling. I'm smelling something. It just isn't what you guys are smelling.
He's the
put on-
boogie man.
Did you put on deodorant?
Yep.
Yep.
Yo.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Totally.
drinking this.
Sure.
Huh.
Well, let's see.
Huh.
I'm gonna formulate my thoughts and make an assessment on this.
There it is.
I'm getting a slight hint of pumpkin up front, but then it dissipates rather quickly. Then probably the middle portion of this drink, I'm getting nothing. And then on the back, it's leaving a nice spicy flavor in my throat that really sneaks up on you towards the end. It kind of builds.
Yeah. I definitely
Interesting.
would agree with that creep at the back. Mm-hmm. And I'm also
Isn't that usually most days at the bar? I agree with that guy in the back.
that creep in the back. He knows what he's talking about.
Steve's in a one-screen movie theater, just back there watching indie films. You're back here again? I'm back here all the time.
I never
You
left.
just don't know that. It's the Phantom of the Theater.
I hang out at the Hollywood, drinking my craft beers and watching the bad movies.
Bad movies? Hold on a second. The Hollywood has fantastic
They
movies.
do. They do.
So I gotta say that I'm a little disappointed in this beer. I was
Okay.
expecting a little more pepper. out of
Okay.
It I can find it,
Right.
but it's not really there. It's kind of fighting to get out, but it's not succeeding.
Well, again, this one's a little cold, so maybe we just leave it for a bit.
Okay, all right. I'm willing to do that.
I think maybe, though, I can say easily it's a little bit more spicy than that chocolate habanero we had from Flying Dog.
Well,
a little
that
bit
was
ago.
non-existent.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying that.
right.
I'm just saying you're saying it's hard to find, but I'm
Yeah.
saying this. I just want to give a little reference.
A good
that
point.
This is
A very good point.
Yeah, this is a little spicier than that.
It's there.
Right.
Right.
It's there at least. It's still not a habanero sculpin, though.
No, it is not. No,
Oh, God, no, not even anywhere close.
No. So, frame of reference.
Yeah.
Hotter than, but not as hot.
Are we playing hot or not with beers right now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just dated myself a whole lot.
Early Tinder. That was proto Tinder.
That was proto Facebook, literally.
Yeah, it was.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, we had to look at the robots and rate them 8 or 9 or 10. And then we got to see another picture of a robot.
Uphill both ways in the snow. Barefoot.
We had 56K modems and it had to download really slow.
We knew what AOL was.
Do you know how long it took to see a boob?
Don't you mean a boob?
No.
Oh, all right. Ghost titties.
Gross.
Gross. So, while we continue to sip on this beer and let it warm up and see if we can find a little bit more to enjoy about it, I think we could look into the idea of what else can pumpkin go into.
Pumpkins can go in anything if you believe in yourself.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, and if you push hard enough, you can jam them in everything. You just need the power.
You need the power and the belief. I guess maybe I should have been a little
And a
more
bucket.
clear that what could we cook pumpkins
Ah.
into?
I think the answer is also anything.
Okay, well, maybe we should...
If you've been to a grocery store in the month of
Yeah.
October, you know it's anything.
Let's see, Oreos, coffee,
Oh
pumpkin
shit, dude,
roll,
they have pumpkin Cheerios now?
pumpkin Cheerio.
Oh god, there's
Yeah.
everything you can imagine.
So
Pumpkin
apparently
bread.
there is a pumpkin spice spray that you can just pumpkin spice literally anything that you want to. Yeah.
Oh, I believe it.
Did you pumpkin spice your cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really wanted to.
Nice.
You can spray whatever you want with that
Take
pumpkin
that, cat.
spice.
Including your cat.
Well, okay, maybe we have a couple recipes then that we could share
Yes.
that aren't necessarily store-bought trash.
Also correct.
Okay.
Now hold on a second here.
What?
Have you had Trader Joe's pumpkin Pop Tarts?
No, I'm not that white.
Oh man, that is anything but store-bought trash. Those things are delicious. So good.
Huh.
Better than the Kellogg's Pop Tarts.
Well, that's setting the bar pretty low.
Well, yeah, because you have to remember, we're in our 30s. Don't eat Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts are bad for you.
Not the Trader Joe's ones, they're organic. BPA free, no GMOs, no chemicals. Really good.
No,
for
there's
you.
definitely chemicals in it. Otherwise, it doesn't exist.
That's more of that damn nerd talk.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's made of molecules.
That's right.
Dino DNA.
All right, let's get away from that and let's get back into the pumpkins.
Yeah, stop antagonizing me with your nerdness and give us a recipe.
I got more if you want it. So I am going to
No
start off.
moss, no moss.
No mas.
So I will start the day off bright and early.
Okay.
It's time for breakfast.
Okay, what's for breakfast, Adam?
We are making pumpkin pancakes.
Hooray!
You guys sound so excited.
I'm about it.
So, actually, this is a very simple recipe. Regular pancakes.
Yes.
But as part of the batter, you can do the ready-made, you can do the Bisquick style, you can do the old-fashioned from scratch. But as part of the recipe, you also need to include pumpkin pie filling.
Okay.
So add that in. Obviously, more to taste. I don't know how big of a batch you want to make.
Right.
I can't tell you that. But that is just a nice little kick. Throw that in. Make your pumpkin pancakes. And then, to top it off, 2 things you need to put on there to really take it over the edge.
Uh-huh.
Number 1, apple butter.
Yes. Apple butter is...
It's
that's
fantastic.
killer. Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah. Number 2, you need to put the brown sugar cinnamon butter that you would find at a Texas Roadhouse.
So you just steal Texas Roadhouse butter?
All of it.
Okay.
Just all of it.
Okay.
Walk right past the cash register. Walk past all the steaks. Just go into the kitchen. Get a big old vat of that butter and walk right back at it. They
I
don't,
need this.
They don't
They'll
care.
make more. They'll make more.
Yeah,
They know how.
They make
got
it
the
every
recipe.
day. It's fine.
They have unlimited supply
Yes.
of their butter there.
Yes. So a nice, I believe it is usually a whipped butter as well. So a nice whipped brown sugar cinnamon butter. The apple butter on top. Ooh, baby.
That sounds pretty good.
It sounds really good. And you know what we're drinking with it?
What's that?
Beer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could really incorporate beer into the batter.
You really could.
Because I know I've made beer pancakes before, so.
Successfully?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done Guinness cakes.
So Guinness is a little bit different Because obviously you'd be wanting to use a pumpkin beer here.
Right.
I don't want to do that.
I'm just saying, I've made it with Guinness cakes. I'm assuming you can fold in.
You could.
I would
Put in a warlock, nice pumpkin stout.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, okay. Well, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit because that's what I was going to have off to the side.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. There was another offering that I was going to put there. However, that's going to ruin the reveal for segment 3.
What?
Just hold on for segment 3,
Okay.
and you'll know.
Okie dokie. I'll hit the I believe button.
That's all you need to do.
Yes. All right. So that sounds like a pretty good breakfast, and I'm about that. I've got a lunch recipe though.
What is your lunch recipe?
A pumpkin soup.
Oh, what's in that?
A zopa.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin, yes. So this is a pretty simple recipe in itself. All you need is 5 cups of chicken stock, and like a cup of pumpkin beer, 4 cups of pumpkin puree, and then a little bit of seasoning here and there. We'll put all these recipes up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to bog the show down.
Right,
with
right.
The breakdown.
But you have your seasonings, and then half cup of heavy cream. And all you got to do is heat everything but the cream up to a boil. Mm-hmm. Then let it simmer for 30 minutes. Take it all out the pot. Puree it in a blender. So, because there's onions in there, so you want to chop those down a little finer.
Yeah.
Get everything into a nice puree. Put it back into the pot. Boil it again. And simmer it again for another 30 minutes. And while it simmers the second time, that's when you mix in your heavy cream.
Aha. Okay.
You pull it out, serve it, and then you can make a little grilled cheese off to the side. I'm thinking maybe like a mascarpone or a
Mascarpone, mortadelle, provolone.
little bit, or some brie. So like a nice soft white cheese.
Yeah.
And you can dip that into your pumpkin puree soup. Ooh, baby.
That sounds
Pull
good.
some pumpkin guts out that pumpkin right in the middle of the grilled cheese. Lather that bastard up with nice good old pumpkin guts.
You're making it bad now.
No, dude. What do you think we're having for dinner? I'm cutting the top off a pumpkin and we're just eating with a spoon.
So what I'm hearing is you can have that, and I'll have Domino's,
Yes.
Domino's.
And then he'll throw pumpkin guts on your Domino's.
and I will throw it at his face.
I don't know. I think pumpkin guts would only enhance the taste of Domino's.
I would much rather have Domino's than the inside of a pumpkin.
God.
I will put that on record right now.
I'm so spoiled living in the South Hills. I would never even think of Domino's. That doesn't even exist. They are dead to me. Unless I'm really hungry and drunk on the South Side one night and it's the only place open. They got those $5 pizzas.
Even then, you should be able to find like Pizza Sola before that.
Yeah, but the Domino's down on the south side, nowadays, they just have hot and readies out there.
They do. You can get them for like $5 or $6.
So you don't even have to leave your car. There's guys out there handing pizzas out
Just lean out the...
for nominal fees.
Just lean out the Uber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come here. I need that real quick.
Although I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm 32 now. I'm not down on the South Side at 2 in the morning looking for pizza. I'm usually in bed.
Old habits.
Yeah.
It's probably the last time you had Domino's.
Honestly, it was. I mean, I don't even think there's a Domino's in the South Hills. Anyhow, getting distracted here. Pumpkin pizza. That's the topic of conversation, I believe.
Is that what we're having for dinner?
Yeah, I haven't eaten yet, so I'd eat some pumpkin pizza.
We're asking what your recipe is, man.
We had breakfast.
We're up to you. We're up to you.
We had breakfast. We had a very nice lunch. And now it's time to tie it all together with a nice, hearty pumpkin dinner. What are we having?
Well, it's dinner, and it's October, so that only means one thing. It's time...
Minnesota Twins!
No, not the Minnesota Twins. It means it's time to carbo-load. 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 Like carbo-load, but the boo because it's a ghost, because it's October.
No, keep going.
Adam looks confused.
No, keep going.
I have to stop my thought process here to explain my jokes, which I thought they were pretty clear.
That's
but
what makes them
apparently
funnier
not.
when you explain them.
We're carbo loading. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be a pretty simple dinner, but it's gonna be absolutely delicious and absolutely terrible for you. And this is a recipe I just made up one day, and I've made it many times since, and it's really damn good. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna we're gonna do baked pumpkin ziti is what we're gonna have, right? So you're gonna take a pound of ziti. You're gonna cook it. And just cook it the normal way you would in a pot. Cook it for the minimum recommended cooking time. So that way it's still a little hard because you're going to have to bake it afterwards and you don't want the ziti to be too soggy.
Nobody
Okay.
wants soggy ziti.
Nobody wants soggy ziti. So what you're going to do is, once you cook all that ziti up, here's what you're going to put on. You're going to put a layer of ziti. You're going to take a big baking pan and put a layer of ziti all across the bottom.
Okay.
All right? Then you're going to take some pumpkin sauce. Now, what I prefer is I go to the Giant Eagle Market District and buy some of their big cans of pumpkin sauce. But if you do not buy a Giant Eagle, I'm sure other grocers also have pumpkin pasta sauce.
I'm sure that's
that you
something
can
Trader
purchase.
Joe's has.
Trader Joe's would have it. Whole Foods would have it.
Organic, GMO, whatever.
BPA free.
Yeah, they'll have the BPA-free cans at
No seals were
Trader Joe's.
fingered.
No seals were harmed in the making of this pasta
Maybe
sauce.
they liked it. We don't know.
They'd like this baked pumpkin ziti. So anyhow, we're going to take a layer of sauce and we're going to cover the ziti, all right? And then we're going to get the big round slices of provolone cheese. And we are just going to layer that right on top of the sauce. Now at this point, your pan might be 1/3 to 1/2 full, right?
Okay.
So we take another layer of ziti and we put that on top of the cheese. Another layer of pumpkin sauce, another layer of mozzarella.
Provolone?
Or excuse me, the provolone. Yeah, the
provolone.
big provolone slices, because you can usually get 10 to 12 in a pack. So you want to make sure that you use them all. This requires a pound of pasta, a pack of provolone cheese, and 2 jars of pumpkin sauce, and about a half a bag of mozzarella cheese.
Mozzarella.
So for the third layer, we do it again. We put another layer of ziti down, we put another layer of pumpkin sauce, and then we take some mozzarella cheese and we sprinkle that all over the top. Put a little salt and pepper on there, and you're good to go. Put it in the oven, bake it at 350 for 45 minutes, and you are going to have a real treat when it comes out. Once again, we're talking about a triple layer baked ziti with pumpkin sauce and a boatload of cheese. So
Yeah, that sounds like a coma.
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one day I was at home. This was years ago, and I decided that that's what I wanted to eat for dinner, so I made it. Let me tell you, you'll have a lot of leftovers, especially if you're eating
Sounds
by
like it.
yourself. So you'll have lunches the next day, dinner the next day, breakfast the next day. So, it's real bad for you. There's a lot of calories in that pumpkin sauce, and a lot of carbs in pasta. But
It'll
hey,
help you out with your winter hibernation.
But yeah, it's really good. So we'll put that recipe up along with the other two at some point during this week. So if you
On
want to
Facebooks
give
and
them a
Twitters.
shot, yeah, put them on the social medias. So if you want to give them a shot, you can certainly try that yourself.
I believe that we have ourselves a fine pumpkin eating day.
Yes.
And we should in the fall. Like sometimes everybody, you hear from people, your friends on social media, that everybody is overloaded with pumpkin. And I disagree. This is the time to eat pumpkin. Drink pumpkin coffee. Drink pumpkin beer. Now's the time to do it, because once you get closer to Thanksgiving, I don't know, you're starting to wind down and get into those winter spice beers.
It's time for cranberry sauce.
Exactly. It is fall right now, damn it, and it is time for pumpkin. And we should just embrace it and enjoy it and love it.
You know what I would like for a Thanksgiving time beer?
What's that?
A cranberry stout. I don't think I've had one.
Be the change you want to see.
Yeah. That's just thought. Just
Be the change.
put it in my brain.
Southern Tier makes a
Follow
wonderful imperial cranberry goza.
They do. They
And
do.
it is gosh darn tasty.
I'd like to try a cranberry stout though. We've gone through our three recipes, and we had our 3 meals.
Right.
We're drinking 3 beers.
We are.
Which could be paired with those meals.
Yes.
So let's
Yeah.
get back to the one we're drinking this segment and
Yes.
see what we thought about it. We're drinking the Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin from New Belgium. It's a pumpkin ale with habanero spice in it.
Yes. And New Belgium is out of the beautiful Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yes.
The Napa Valley of beers.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those that are not aware.
And as we learned last episode, they're the biggest craft brewery in Colorado.
That is correct.
Yes.
So that's spooky to think that.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, Minnesota Twins.
What'd everybody think?
I enjoyed it. I liked it as a pumpkin beer. I didn't like it as a chili beer.
Okay.
But I was able to find a little bit of that spiciness as it warmed up a little bit. It's definitely not a habanero sculpin, but it's definitely not like what we have had in the past where they claimed it was chili. There was no chili.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, flying dog. Overall, I enjoyed this beer. I would definitely have 1 or 2 bottles. I might even be tempted by a 6-pack of it.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you on that, Adam. It definitely works well as a pumpkin beer. And I don't necessarily want to classify it as a chili beer.
I wouldn't either.
But I do appreciate the fact that it's something completely new.
It is different.
It's not an imperial stout. It's not a coffee. It's not, it's something completely out of the different realm. I do appreciate the fact that the spiciness is present, and it gives you that little bit of kick, and it's a more of a spice warming. This is definitely something that you could have on a cold October.
So kind of a campfire beer?
Yeah, campfire beer, or if you're gotta take your kids around trick-or-treating. You could probably paper bag this one and brave the cold.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Sam, what were your thoughts on the Voodoo Ranger Special Edition Atomic Pumpkin?
So I certainly appreciate the style. I'll say that the mix of chilies, habanero peppers in a pumpkin beer, is something that I have yet to see yet. This is the first spiced pumpkin beer that I've had spiced with peppers. And, overall, it was okay. Once it warmed up, I was able to get some more of the pumpkin flavor. I actually got a little bit more of the pepper flavor in the back. So all around, the warmth of the beer created a bolder flavor, which I enjoyed. And I really like what New Belgium is doing with this Voodoo series. Primarily it's IPAs, which is right in my wheelhouse. But now with their Voodoo series, they're taking a little detour and doing this spiced pumpkin beer for the fall. And I really like that. And I've enjoyed their Voodoo beers. Some of them I've preferred more than others. And, some of the IPAs I like more than this pumpkin. But yeah, it's creative, and I think that it's neat that they're tying a seasonal beer into that series that they've been working with for the past year. So I'm excited to see what they put out around the holidays. See if we'll get another Voodoo beer to try around Christmas time. Maybe a Christmas ale of some sort. Maybe they'll throw some peppers in there. Maybe they'll throw something completely different.
Spicy eggnog.
Yeah, it's eggnog, chamomile tea, maybe something to sip on by the fire. I don't know. We'll see.
I think I just saw that Dark Horse put out a chamomile tea
Oh, did they?
beer. Yeah. It was like apricot and chamomile tea and something else.
That sounds
Dark Horse.
really soothing.
Yeah, but it was called Scary Jesus Rockstar.
What?
I don't know, man.
What?
That's an interesting name.
Yeah. So,
They have
but,
weird names for their beer, but
yeah. But that was their intro to that. And that's what I saw.
Right on.
cool. Well, I guess that's Drunken Pumpkin number 2, the Voodoo Ranger special release Atomic Pumpkin from New Belgium. So we'll finish these up. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back. We got one more beer, and I think we're going to talk about something that we haven't talked about in quite some time, and that is the wonderful world of cinema. So
Movies!
Minnesota Twins!
Oh!
break! Hop Nation USA, we are back and looking more beautiful than ever.
Beautiful.
Beautiful or beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's got to be bootyful because if you say beautiful, that just sounds like that. Bow, bow. That sounds like that song. Beautiful. You know.
The Christina Aguilera song, beautiful.
Bow, bow. Chicka, chicka.
Oh, from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, see, now you make that sound effect, and now I know exactly what you're talking about. We have one more beer here.
We do.
It looks like a good one.
It is.
So, Adam, why don't you introduce this to all the curious fans out there?
So this was the beer that I originally wanted to pair with my breakfast, but obviously I didn't want to ruin the surprise, so I had to go with something else. This one comes from the spectacular brewery of Southern Tier, the Southern Tier Brewing Company, and this is their limited release, their cold press coffee Pumking.
Hey, Pumpkin.
Yes, all hail the king. So this clocks in at a very nice 8.6% ABV.
Big
Whoa, that's scary.
It's too big.
Scary high ABV. Ooh.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So this is very similar to what you would see with the classic Pumking, or Pumpkin Classic, as it were. 8.6% ABV, 30 IBUs. And we had to drink this actually pretty quick because the recommended temperature for drinking this is between 35 and 40 degrees. So I'm going to crack this open real quick so we can get to it.
Keep it chilly.
Yeah. 35 and 40 degrees. That's really cold.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Why in the world would they want you to drink that so cold?
Because it's cold press.
It's right in the name, man.
Yeah, but I mean, every coffee beer I've had, you want to wait a little bit
Yeah.
and let it warm up. Otherwise, it's going to mask the coffee flavor.
Yeah, most coffee beers I've had, you let it warm up.
Hey, man, I'm just telling you what they're telling me.
I hope they're not lying to you and everybody else.
Well, if they're lying to me, then they are lying to America.
Mm.
And perhaps a couple of Canadians that got lost.
Oh, no.
Yes. Because they are in...
Our pumpkin is too cold. We got to go back to Ontario.
No, that's not where they're from. They're actually out of Lakewood, New York.
Well, no, I was talking about the Canadians.
Yeah, I know, but if
Yeah,
they
the
get...
Canadians, they come down for Toronto.
Bunch of hosers.
They came,
Take
came-
off.
They came
You
to
take
Lakewood.
off.
Now they
You
got to go
take off.
home.
So yes, beautiful Lakewood, New York. That is actually part of the southern tier of New York. That's actually where the name comes from. That is the region. It's called the southern tier.
Also known as Pennsylvania's hat, yeah?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good way to put that.
Yeah. So this comes out of the bottle. I would say a very similar color to what we had with the Atomic Pumpkin.
Yeah, it's a little bit lighter, but just as clear.
Yeah. Head retention is minimal.
Mm-hmm.
There's that nice little white ring. That's about it.
Yep.
Smells phenomenal.
This does smell absolutely phenomenal. You could smell the pumpkin, you could smell the coffee, and you're
Yeah.
getting a lot of it right up your nostrils.
You get both with a punch in the nose.
Both of them.
Both them.
That is that smell is unbelievable. I just want to keep smelling it. This is a beer that I need to sniff a few more times before I even take a sip because it's that good.
So you're saying you need a snifter?
Ah.
I have a snifter. I'm drinking out of a snifter.
Yeah, it's nice because it doesn't smell like a garbage Starbucks latte.
Right.
It smells like coffee.
Actual coffee.
Yeah,
Yes.
coffee and pumpkin.
Well, a little less jaw-jacking. Let's drink this thing.
Hot damn. This is
Fan.
my jam.
Fan.
Chilling with my fam.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Drinking this can. It's really not a can. It's coming from a bottle.
They have not started canning pumpkin in any way.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That would be. I'd really like that.
Me too.
Yeah, tall boys at pumpkin.
Yeah.
boy.
24 ouncers. I mean, I guess you can get it in a crowler.
Yeah, you
You
get
could.
crowler.
Well, remember when they first came out with the Pumpkin, that one only came out in bombers.
Yeah.
So that's not that far off.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
And that's when you had to make life decisions once you were done with the first one. Do you start into the second one?
Yeah.
That's
Can you finish two before it gets too warm?
that is the crossroads.
Yeah.
What kind of night am I gonna have?
This beer is fantastic.
Yes.
It tastes. It's the perfect blend of coffee and pumpkin. And I've had a number of pumpkin coffee beers at this point because they're starting to get a little bit more popular. You're starting to see a lot of breweries do variations on the pumpkin beer, but this
where
one
it's at.
this one was released last year, I believe, for the first time, and I had it last year, and I haven't revisited it since. But I'm really glad that we're having this on the show right now because it's a perfect blend. It tastes like. It does taste like one of those pumpkin lattes, but not the shitty Starbucks one.
Right.
Like the nice. This tastes more like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee with
Yeah.
that flavored pumpkin syrup that they put in there, and not necessarily a latte. This is just
Right.
perfect blend of flavor.
So-
Get the coffee and pumpkin in every sip.
I am fairly certain that every year the Pumpkin recipe is adjusted, it's tweaked, it's revised a little bit, and I'm fairly certain that this Pumpkin works really, really well with the cold pressed coffee. And honestly, I think it's better than what it was last year.
I'd probably have to do a side-by-side comparison
Yeah.
to make an accurate description. 'Cause
I'm-
I don't remember enough about it last year.
It's hard to say because I mean we only had it the one time down at the Southern Tier tap room.
You
yeah,
did.
that's the only.
Well, I
time
did. You actually got it a couple times, but
Right.
I mean that's the only place that we could get it at.
Correct.
It wasn't in bottles, but now they just skip straight to 12 ounces.
And I'm okay with that because I don't like making those decisions anymore.
You're right. Yeah, I really am a big fan of this, though. From my shit memory, I can say that it definitely tastes a little creamier, a little more full than what I remember from last year. So I am enjoying it a whole lot. There's only maybe 2 pumpkin coffee beers I can think that would rival this at the moment.
the Punkachino.
That's one. And 2 is a beer that we had at the Brewing Up a Cure last year. Was the white
Oh,
The
yeah.
white, the white coffee bean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that beer.
But that's not even in commercial production. Like, nobody's ever going to have that again. So
no. But that was damn good.
yeah, that can just exist in the ether of our memory.
And I'm okay with that.
yeah, but those are the only two I can think of.
Yeah. This is a, you know what? This is a bomb-ass beer.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And drinking this beer, it makes me want to go back to Southern Tier Brewery. Not that I've been there a handful of times now, and it's phenomenal every time. But I tell you what, I want to go back on a Sunday night for dinner, because Janie and I did that one week. And it was like the best thing in the world. There was pretty much nobody down there. We were able to sit down, have a nice meal. It wasn't claustrophobic. They had all the beers just like they normally would.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys know, you go down there on a Friday or Saturday night, it's
Nightmare.
literally like,
Chaos.
getting shoved into a chicken coop with your buddies. And, you're just kind of jammed in there, and, they're forcing you to do things that you don't want to do. Like, with the chickens. The chickens
What
are
the hell kind of Friday night did you go to?
They're forced to lay eggs. You're forced to maybe, have to bump up on somebody that you don't want to bump up on. I don't know. Long story short, it's packed as hell in there.
Going nut to butt.
That was probably not the best example, the way that I phrased that. But
No,
look,
not at all.
you get the point. It's like
So did that other guy.
everybody did. So I don't know. Drinking this beer makes me want to go back there, because their beers are so good. I love Southern Tier. They're so fantastic.
They are. Again, because we have that nice tap room, they do have things on tap that you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
That they don't have in bottles yet.
Right.
So
And they do that Brewed for Pittsburgh series of beers, where they brew beer right from the brewery there, and it goes tank to tap.
Right.
So they're literally tapping it right out of the tanks, which is really cool. And I've tried some of those. I haven't had them all, but I've tried some of them, and they are damn good. They did an unfiltered IPA, which was second to none. Adam would hate it.
Was that
but
the fresh-
Sam loved it.
was that the freshie?
No,
okay.
it wasn't the freshie. It was literally just called Pittsburgh Brewed No. 2.
Gotcha.
Unfiltered IPA.
Yeah, number 2 sounds about right.
Yeah, because the first one was the Golden Ale. Unfiltered IPA was number 2.
No poo.
Ooh.
Well, maybe we can divert a little bit and stop by, giving the old JO session for the for the Pumking and Southern Tier. Obviously, we like it and we love them and all that they offer.
So let us continue on.
But I figure maybe we could revisit something that we got into over the summer. We did a little summer movie prediction as to how well those would go.
So how did they go?
Well, I think we're all old and out of touch.
I guess so, because I know I tracked some of these movies during the summer, and my opinions and my estimations for what they would gross was grossly off.
Yeah, your tastes were probably the worst of all three of us. You said that Pirates would do really well and that Wonder Woman wouldn't, and those were both wrong.
Well, now, to my credit, though, Pirates did make a boatload of money overseas.
It did make a boatload.
A boatload.
It was close to, I think, 800 million globally. Wonder Woman, I said, would bomb. Clearly did not.
Clearly did not.
No.
I thought Atomic Blonde would do really well. It did not.
It did not. But the one thing we can all agree on, the Emoji Movie.
We all thought that would do bad,
Yeah.
and then we're all wrong.
We're all wrong. Ended up tripling its budget worldwide. It did, I think, close to almost up to upwards of 200 million or something.
Yeah,
Crazy amount
something
for a movie
stupid.
about emoticons.
For a 2-hour commercial.
Right.
For
Yeah.
apps.
I blame TJ Miller.
Yeah, I blame him too. I blame Patrick Stewart for not having the wherewithal or the heart to just stand up and say no.
But when you got truckloads of money being backed up to your house,
Hey, yeah, if Sony wants to pay you money for their shitty movie that actually makes money,
yeah,
whatever.
go right ahead.
Whatever. So, with all that said, I figured maybe we could double down
Yeah, we need to.
and run through the horror movies of October. And see how well these would do.
Minnesota Twins.
No.
Now, we all know that October is a very spooky month in terms of movies that are coming out.
That's
And,
right.
Your local cinema likes to release the horror movies, and
Yeah, we're gonna
the shitty horror movies
Yeah,
that usually come with it.
We're gonna go straight. Well, I mean, I think they're all shitty, but we're gonna just jump right into that. We're gonna skip the good movies, which would be Blade Runner, and there's another one. Oh, Suburbicon, directed by George Clooney, starring Matt Damon.
I think that actually comes out in the beginning of November.
I think it's the last weekend of October, but I could be wrong.
I'm willing to round down.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
It might have moved, but let's just stick to the horror movies.
Yes.
And we're gonna start right off in October 13th with Happy Death Day. Have either of you seen the trailer or anything about this?
Nah,
I remember hearing about this a while ago, but I can't even recall if I saw the trailer. What the hell is this movie about?
Okay, so Happy Death Day is basically Groundhog Day, but the twist is the girl keeps dying every day. So this girl wakes up on her birthday, and by the end of her birthday, she's killed. And then after she's killed by this mass murderer, she wakes up again on her birthday.
That sounds awful.
And then she gets killed by the mass murderer again?
Again and again, and her whole deal is she has to figure out who's trying to kill her.
And to kill them, maybe, so this whole thing stops?
Could be, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and from the trailer, it looks like it's stealing the Groundhog Day. You know how he woke up to the Pennsylvania Polka?
Yeah.
This appears to be that she's waking up to 50 Cent's It's Your Birthday song. So be prepared to hear that.
Okay, all right. I have heard the trailer in YouTube while I'm trying to get to my actual video, and I'm not paying attention to it.
Skip.
Yeah, that explains why I'm hearing 50 Cent.
Yeah.
In the club.
Right.
So
Yeah.
shorty, it's your birthday.
Right.
We're gonna party like it's your birthday.
Yeah. So be prepared to hear that over
Party
and
like
over.
it's your
He's not
birthday.
done yet.
I know he's not.
We're just
You
gonna
know,
power
don't give
through
a
this.
shit if it's your birthday.
We'll just keep going. Just ignore
Just
him.
gotta
He'll
power
go
through.
away. We just
Gotta
gotta
power
keep
through.
going.
So, what do you think would be? Do you think this is going to be a success? I will admit, I think it. I'll give it the fact that I think it's a little unique in the fact that it's going to have a high body count, but it's going to be the same body over and over again.
Right.
I think that's interesting. And two, I'll give it the fact that it's not one of these garbage ass ghost movies that is just full of jump scares and has like no gore or nothing in it.
Right.
I'll give it those.
Annabelle 2. That was a doll, I guess. Not
Yes,
really
it
a
was.
ghost.
Well, it's the
Was
same.
it dog?
Yeah, it's the same unscary garbage.
I think that might be one of those movies where it'll be pretty terrible in the theaters. But if the premise goes anywhere near, solid, and they actually carry through in the premise, that might become like a cult classic.
It might. I think it all hinges on how it ends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, normally, if you think about a movie like this, you can almost predict how it would end if it's, some basic bitch horror script,
Right?
That you can see the ending coming from a mile away. But maybe it's got a little more of an indie feel to it, and it's gonna have some twists and turns that you wouldn't expect, and the ending could be something really cool. So I don't know. It sounds stupid as hell, but maybe it's alright. I don't know.
But in all honesty, so does Groundhog Day.
Right.
Yeah,
But that's
true.
an awesome
And
movie.
Groundhog
That's a great movie.
Day
Right.
is amazing. What I like, to your point earlier, what I like about this is it's not one of those paranormal movies where,
Yeah.
just like you said, it's not The Conjuring, it's not Paranormal Activity where everybody's living in a friggin' haunted house these days. At least there's some action, some
The blanket
some
is
violence,
moving.
Where
a big
nothing
body
happens
count.
for 45 minutes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. At least it seems like she's gonna go out and get killed every day. So you're kind of guaranteed that. You're probably guaranteed a montage.
Gonna do a montage.
Yeah. So you probably get a montage that way. It might be a little bit fun. The trailer is obnoxious with the 50 Cent.
Right. Well, they're trying to hook you in, like, oh, I remember this song.
I remember the song.
yeah.
Oh, it's about her
Nostalgia.
birthday. I get it. So
how sad is that is now a song that is tied with nostalgia?
Ugh.
It's what, 15 years old now?
getting close.
Yikes.
Yeah. Approaching.
50 Cent is a mogul. Gotta give him credit where credit's due. He makes it stick. I hope it's like Edge of Tomorrow. I really liked Edge of Tomorrow. I thought that was a fantastic movie.
That is a good movie. That's a
and that
good
was kind
example.
of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it was science fiction, but it was kind of the same type.
That's
plot
a good.
where
Yeah,
Tom
that's a
Cruise
good
was
example.
living the same day over and over.
And I'll admit the trailers of that didn't make it look good either.
No, it didn't. But man, was that a great film.
Yeah, that came out really funny and really action packed, and that was a good film. So I'm hoping maybe this would kind of follow suit with that.
So what else you got?
So are we making a prediction on that? Should we?
Oh yeah, no,
thought we already did.
We already kind of did. We said it was.
No, we're not picking like a gross or anything.
Oh
No.
It's
on
October.
these movies? Yeah. This is the graveyard. Pun completely
Yeah.
intended.
This is fuck you. It's October.
Of course, this entire summer was pretty much a graveyard.
Yeah, not much.
Take out Wonder Woman.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That was really good.
Yeah,
That's
and
about it.
8 Fast, 8 Furious.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Oh man, that was best movie of the summer, best movie of the year, best movie probably ever that was ever made.
All the Oscars.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight a submarine.
Everyone is going
With
to
our cars.
the Fate of the Furious this year.
If you haven't heard our Fate of the Furious review episode, go back.
That's
It's
a
on
nice
Podbean.
tie-in. I like that.
Yeah. But moving on to October 20th, we've got 2 scary films coming out
On the same day.
on the same day.
shit.
Ooh, Twin Bill.
I'm going to go with the one I want to see first.
Okay.
They're releasing another prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre called Leatherface.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look terrible. It looks, and all the trailers are pretty full of gore. I'm hoping they didn't blow their load.
Kind of like when terrible comedies throw out all the best punchlines and all the best jokes in the trailer,
Right.
and then everything else is just garbage.
We're
Right.
looking at you, Baywatch.
Did you actually watch that movie?
Yeah, I did. It sucks. Every funny part in that movie is in the trailer.
That's
Another
disappointing.
movie that Sam said would do well in fucking tanked.
Dang. That's because it wasn't funny. It wasn't any good.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
So I'm hoping this Leatherface prequel will be better. It does have one really cool shot
Okay.
in the trailer that is reminiscent of Alien 3, where the alien's right up in Sigourney Weaver's face and the little mouth comes out.
I'm gonna bite you with my little tongue.
Yeah, well, there's a very similar shot in which the chainsaw is face to face with some guy,
Ah.
and the chain is like running in his face, and there's blood dripping off the saw.
All right, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
It was pretty cool because it was practical and everything. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that works out a little better. I don't have. Apparently, it's only getting a limited release.
You know what? I think that might serve that film well.
Maybe it'll be at the Hollywood.
Maybe. If it is, I'll go see it.
They are showing a remastered version there of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre for Halloween, which I might go check out. That seems
I would
pretty
suggest
cool.
it. Yeah. Probably. Just recently, Tobe Hooper passed away, so R.I.P. But they've made so many sequels and reboots to this damn franchise.
They're milking it dry.
Right, they're milking it dry. The last one I saw was absolute garbage. But this one doesn't look that bad, so.
The last one I saw was the one with Jessica Biel. That one was pretty decent.
That one wasn't bad at all. That was pretty
That
good.
was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was probably 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah, they made 3 more since that. So.
Haven't seen any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
The last one I saw was called Texas Chainsaw 3D or whatever.
Anything with
Oh,
3D in the
God.
title,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
awful.
That must have been horrendous.
Okay,
Is that-
I will throw one caveat out there.
Okay.
There's one thing that has 3D in the title that is actually good.
Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas?
Doritos.
Oh. Okay, thanks,
Doritos.
97.
I remember Doritos 3D. Those were damn good. They
See?
should bring those back.
See?
But Harold and Kumar's 3D Christmas was also pretty damn funny.
Yes, it was. So the other film coming out on October 20th is Boo 2! Medea's Halloween!
You know what was interesting?
What?
As I was watching you say that, I saw a little piece of your soul die.
It did!
Right in front of my eyes.
It now floated into the sky and went to heaven.
Now, did anybody see Boo 1?
No!
No, and that's why I can't get behind this film. I feel like I would be lost because I didn't see the first one.
Yeah.
You would know what's going on with
Wouldn't
the
know what was going
characters.
on.
Yeah, Tyler Perry movies are probably pretty deep.
Yeah.
Although I've
Complex.
never seen one of them, so.
It's like layers.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not part of the TPCU, so
Medea is the Iron Man of Tyler Perry's universe.
is she the Iron Man or the Nick Fury?
Ooh.
Probably the Iron Man.
I would say she's the Iron Man because
Yeah.
she's had so many films.
Right,
That is true.
Yeah, she had
She's
so
not
many
putting
films.
together a team. She's just starring in the friggin'
Right.
things.
Considering how much Iron Man was in Spider-Man and the Avengers films, yeah,
Yeah.
she's the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Maybe she switched though in Medea's family reunion to be the Nick Fury, and she brought all of her family
She brought
together.
the family together.
and
yeah.
they were like the other Marvel characters.
Ah.
Yeah.
So which one's Hawkeye?
I couldn't tell you.
All the other ones? There's 8 Hawkeyes.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure this movie will do all right. I mean, all Tyler Perry films do pretty decent.
They
But
seem to do. I mean,
They keep making them.
right. They keep
No.
getting made, so they do well.
Right.
I will be damned if I ever saw one.
they keep making them because he works on an extremely limited budget. Half the characters are just him.
Yeah, that's true. He does pull the old Eddie Murphy.
It's like the Nutty Professor type shit.
Yeah.
He plays almost everybody. Makes these movies for super cheap, and then they make decent money. So if they keep giving them, the studios keep giving them money to make more.
Giving them money?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's like Adam Sandler. They keep giving him money to make movies.
Oh shit, he's switched on. He's moved to Netflix
Yeah.
now. He's got his
He scammed them.
six-picture deal.
Yeah, now he's getting that Netflix money.
Yeah, he is.
He scammed them well. Yeah, I don't know. I watched the trailer. It looked like complete trash. I didn't know what was
Yep.
going on, but good for it. It can do whatever it wants. I don't think it's a. I don't know.
It's not going to bother me one way or another.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's like some guy ordering a grilled cheese out in Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It affects me 0%.
Yeah, I care just as much about that as I do as Annabelle 2.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So let's move on to October 27th.
That's going to be a big weekend.
Yes. And we
That's
got.
the day after my birthday.
It is.
Ah.
And we've got 2 movies coming out just for you.
Oh boy, what are they?
Well, let's start with the complete garbage one. You guys know the Amityville series?
Yeah.
Well, there's another one coming out of that. It's called Amityville: The Awakening. I can't tell you
God.
what number this is in the series.
Do you really care anymore?
Nope.
I saw the original one with Ryan Reynolds. Well, I
That's
guess
not
that
the
wasn't-
original
I'm
one.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Not the original one.
The original of the reboots. I know
Right.
that wasn't the original
Yeah.
Amityville Horror, but I saw that one, and that one was a pile of stinking garbage. And I haven't watched any since, so
Yeah,
I don't know what
that's
number
fine.
they're on.
Yeah, you're not really missing anything because even the original one is kind of is a bit they're not great,
I feel like every one of the movies is the same thing.
and it is.
So you saw one,
it
you
is.
saw them all, including this new one that hasn't even been released yet.
I think Amityville 2 is pretty okay. It's pretty okay, but compared to other horror films, it's not.
It doesn't do anything.
Nah, it's all right. But this one, it is so limited
How limited is it?
that it's being released on Google Play.
Oh, really? So it's not even coming to theaters.
It might play in some theaters, but it's
Oh God.
all the advertisements I saw were it's going to be on Google Play.
You go right ahead.
Yeah, knock yourself out, Steve.
That's your first. It's your first stop.
So what is...
What's stop number 2?
Yeah, what's the second one on the double feature?
The second one on the double feature is the big entry of the season. It's Jigsaw, Saw number 8.
Yeah.
Really? They got all the way up to 8?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, they've got all the way up to number 8, and they've brought back Tobin Bell, the Jigsaw character,
Okay.
and he's been dead since 3.
And he has been in every one
Yeah,
to
he's
some
been
degree.
in every one for some degree, but he's been dead since 3. And this isn't like a Jason comes back from the dead. It's just the plot lines are so goddamn convoluted.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, and
you can do what you damn well please. It's like The Simpsons. Just start a new episode.
Right, and jumping back in time and jumping forward in time, it just doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And it's so interesting with this series because just a couple years ago when they released Saw 3D or Saw 7, they said that this is the final Saw. This is
Yeah.
your last chance to see Saw. That was kind of the big thing in the trailer. Here we are just a couple shortly years later and we have another one.
Right.
Did anybody ask for this?
Yeah.
No.
It was literally called the final chapter for Saw 7.
Yeah.
So is this the epilogue now?
Who knows? I don't know where it's going.
I don't either.
And that kind of interests me, but
So honestly, this sounds like this series is turning into the Rolling Stones, where they keep having
the Rolling Stones or Motley Crue, however you want.
Yeah.
And I have to say, there is not a chance in hell I won't watch this movie. Like, I've seen the other 7 Saws, and, ever since 1, they've pretty much gone right downhill. Slowly, but but downhill nonetheless. But you know what? I saw the trailer for this, and the trailer is not actually half bad. I'm sure the movie might suck, but I don't know. I'm going to watch it. I loved the first film, and I've kind of been hooked ever since, even though I don't really like what I'm watching half the time. I'm still going to watch it, so they got me there. I'm not going to see it in the theater, though.
No. I think part of what draws me to these films is, again, they're all on Amazon Prime, so I rewatched a couple of them. And again, they're not these god-awful Paranormal Activity, Annabelle, Insidious movies that have, like, nothing but jump scares.
Right.
Like, there's some creepiness to them, and there's a lot of just kind of panic about, like, things that are about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then it usually ends in a big, gory payoff. Unlike, it's just like, oh, spooky ghost!
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is movies nowadays.
Right.
So I'm hoping, again, this Jigsaw film might issue in a new renaissance of terrible, gory films, and they resurrect some of the other franchises that, you know, went to the wayside.
And the first one had Robin Hood in it,
It sure did.
which I didn't know for the longest time.
You didn't know Carrie Elwes was in the...
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I found that out.
Well,
Like,
he comes back in the 7th.
Yes, he does.
What?
He's in that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Gordon.
Yep.
the search for more money.
So those are our horror movies.
Have you guys seen anything for The Snowman?
See, I saw that. I wasn't going to put it down as a horror movie.
I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be.
It's just kind of a thriller.
It's got Michael Fassbender in it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It has to be somewhat legit.
Yeah, I think
guess.
it's more along the lines of a detective thriller.
I hope so,
Yeah.
rather than just a pure, scary movie.
No, I don't think it's trying to be a horror movie. I think it's more along the lines of Silence of the Lambs.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
it is kind of weird because they show the antagonist in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a snowman head. No, they did.
Okay, that's not what I saw. But
That's what I saw. It was ridiculous looking.
and it was ridiculous.
It was stupid.
You know what movie that makes me want to go back and watch?
Top
Jack
Gun.
Frost.
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost.
Not the shitty Michael Keaton one.
No, not those.
the B.
The even
B-level
shittier
horror movie. Yeah. That one was. Oh god, that was such a funny film.
Wasn't Shannon Elizabeth in the first one?
She might have been. I know there was a couple. I only saw the first one.
Yeah, she got
That
attacked.
sounds like something she would be in.
Yeah, I think she was in the first one, and she got attacked in the shower.
Yeah, because the snowman was like watching her through the window, then came in and killed her.
In the shower.
Yeah, this friggin' snowman's watching Shannon Elizabeth or whoever played this girl in the shower.
Sporting a second carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boner jokes.
I'm pretty sure that you're not far off. I'm pretty sure you got.
serious?
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure you
dude.
might have gotten the script
This
somehow.
is this is low level, B rated horror movies or
That
whatever.
is terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't trauma, but might as well have been.
All right.
Yeah.
This is what you find on like the 6th or 7th page of Netflix under the horror movie section.
The unrented red box.
Awful. And they all sound awful, except for the ones that are good.
Yeah, all these movies sound pretty bad. I'm gonna say that Jigsaw is probably gonna make the most money.
Probably. It's got the most name recognition.
Right. It's got the most name recognition
And not on Google Play.
right, and it's not debuting on Google Play. Even though pretty much everything here except Happy Death Day is a sequel.
Right.
As
so,
most of them are.
So
Yeah.
with that, that is the one I am pulling for the most.
Okay.
Because it is an original idea.
Yes, more or less. Yeah.
In the genre.
Yeah, more or less, it is pretty original.
So that's the one I'm pulling for.
I'm pulling for it too. I'm hoping it is a good film.
And I hope it's a one and done.
Yes, I hope they don't try to make a goddamn Final Destination type franchise out of it, which
Let's
sounds
just
like
keep going.
They haven't come out with one of those in a while.
Because they finally reached the final destination.
That's what you thought
Oh no.
until
Oh my God.
until Jigsaw does really well, and then Lionsgate and Dimension Films started going.
I like
We
money.
bring back.
We like money. The kids want gore again, do they? Well then, we've got something for you.
Okay, let's get away from all this garbage and let's get back to something good.
Yes.
This Southern Tier cold pressed coffee Pumking.
Boy,
Yeah.
is it good?
It is good. I don't think we have to say anything more. It's good. It's fantastic.
No, I believe we praised it enough
Yeah.
at the beginning of the segment.
No opinions have changed.
Yeah, no opinions have
That is
changed.
correct.
It's amazing. We can actually probably just skip right to the podium.
Right to the podium.
So let us do that.
Okay, Duke.
I'm gonna go to Sam.
All right.
What is your gold? What is your silver? What is your bronze for the Drunken Pumpkins?
All right, so Drunken Pumpkin number 3, which is going to go in the bronze position tonight. Might surprise you guys, but I'm actually going with the New Belgium Atomic Pumpkin.
That is surprising.
And look, I'm a huge fan of pepper beers, and I don't know, this one was good, but it wasn't great. And I like the beer, but why I put it in third is I would want to see a little bit more spice and a little bit more pumpkin flavor. Granted, when it warmed up, it did release more of those notes, but, you know, one has to go into third, and that's the one that's going to go into third for me tonight. I did like the beer, though. It's not bad. In second place is going to be the O'Fallon's Pumpkin Bread Beer. This one I thought was just slightly better than the Atomic Pumpkin, and only because I put this in second only because I thought it was a little more balanced. I'm a big fan of Dunkelweizen's. I like those dark wheat beers, and I thought this had good flavor. And the Atomic Pumpkin, I wouldn't want to drink too many of those, but the Pumpkin Bread Beer, I feel I could have 3 or 4 and just, you know, really continue to enjoy that as the night went on. So, in first place, to the surprise of absolutely no one, goes the cold pressed coffee Pumking. Fantastic beer, perfectly balanced, great coffee notes, great pumpkin flavor. Can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. Plus at 8.6 percent. That's
a solid
ABV, but you don't taste any of you don't really taste any of the alcohol. I mean, you can just taste the pumpkin and the coffee over and over in every sip. So, just a great all around beer.
Steve, what are your thoughts on this evening's wares?
I'm only going to differ a little bit from Sam in that in the bronze I'm going to put the Pumpkin Bread by O'Fallon's. Again, I would say no bad beers tonight at all, but I just thought that the pumpkin flavor was a little more manufactured, a little more fake. It didn't taste as pumpkin-y as I liked. It tasted more like a ginger snap. But it was a really well balanced beer, and it was, you know, yeasty and malty, and it was a good Dunkelweizen that had just some kind of manufactured flavors added to it. I mean, I still liked it. I'd still probably drink a good handful of them. Silver, I'm going to put the Atomic Pumpkin. I like the inventiveness of it, and I like, you know, as it did warm up, it did espouse more of those flavors. And I like that a whole lot, and I would drink a handful of those as well. For gold, I'm going to put the cold pressed Pumking, to the surprise of no one, to steal a line from Sam.
I know, I literally just said that.
I know you said it, I'm going to echo it.
All right, that's fair. You can echo whatever you want.
Yeah, surprising to no one, that beer is awesome. It just has the best coffee and pumpkin flavor. I said at the top of the segment, I can't think. There's only 2 other beers I can think to compare, and we're not drinking either of them tonight.
Correct.
So that's the way it's got to be. Adam,
what say you?
Well, for me, I'm simply going to reflect what Steve has said. The bronze position goes to the O'Fallon's for a slightly different reason. I liked it. I didn't find the artificial pumpkin flavoring that Steve was talking about. I enjoyed it. It was a good beer. However, it just did not stack up compared to the other 2 that we had tonight. To say it is a bad beer is a fallacy. It is a good beer. I would drink it again. I have zero problem with this beer. Unfortunately, it just came up against some stiffer competition. Silver, that goes to the Atomic Pumpkin by New Belgium. That was a good beer. As it warmed up, I was able to find more flavors. I was able to find a little bit more of that pepper flavor that they promised with that habaneros. It was not overly pronounced like a sculpin, but that's a good thing. I like the balance between the pepper and the pumpkin. I thought that was a good approach, a unique approach. However, it could not hold a candle to the cold pressed coffee Pumking by Southern Tier. That is far and away the gold medal winner for tonight.
Would you say that comes to the surprise of no one?
It comes to the surprise of no one. That's a good beer.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good show.
I think so.
We drank some good beers here tonight.
It still is a good show.
Yeah, that's not over yet.
Still going.
Steve still has to tell everybody how they could find us on the social medias.
Do you want to find us on the social medias? Well, then all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to listen to brand new shows every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher. That would include iTunes, Stitcher, and Podbean, and Google Music Play Plus, whatever it is.
A rousing endorsement.
It's not, it's not our biggest hits.
Well, yeah, if you go on Google Play, they could listen to the Hop Nation USA podcast and watch the new Amityville horror movie.
That's right.
Double the fun. Except not really. Yeah. One of those will be fun. One of them will not be fun.
And if you want to email us, you can email us about your favorite pumpkin beer, or you can email us a horror movie that we should watch, or you can email us an extra episode that you would like to hear, if you want us to go watch Jigsaw and do a special episode based on that,
Or you can email us and tell Sam to stop touching the microphone.
you can tell him to do that too.
They don't. Nobody knows I'm touching the microphone except you two. But that would be interesting to do another movie review podcast on Jigsaw. That might not be a bad one to do it with because it's the 8th, right? It's
Right.
the 8th. And
It's the
the
8th
last one that we did was the 8th Fast and the Furious
That's
movie.
right.
So it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense.
I've got 4 movie choices that I think we can maybe do in the next couple months. We could do Jigsaw, we could do Thor, we could do Justice League, or we could do Star Wars. I think, those are four movies that we can maybe make an extra episode out of.
Perhaps we need to put that to the audience.
Yeah, it's a poll.
Yeah.
A poll. The one more thing that I would like people to email us, we're looking to put together a special Q&A episode for episode 34.
Yes, we are.
So if you would please email us all your craft beer and Hop Nation USA related questions. Please do that.
We will be drinking beer and answering questions all show long. So
Answering
give
your
us something to talk about. Otherwise, we're babbling on about a whole bunch of nonsense. So
Answering your cues, giving you A's.
That's right.
anything else? Or shall we close the lid on episode 31?
I will close with a little bit of sad news that I found out today. The annual pumpkin chunkin contest held in Delaware has been canceled this year.
Why?
Well, unfortunately, they are in the middle of a litigation.
Oh.
Somebody got injured last year,
Oh.
and now the organizers are being sued, so they canceled the event,
Oh.
which is very, very disappointing. That was something I always enjoyed watching on the Science Channel.
Yeah.
Was pumpkin chunkin, because those machines were ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to build one.
Yeah, they're giant rail guns.
Yeah.
Shooting pumpkins.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good
But
stuff.
unfortunately, that has been canceled for this year.
Ugh.
So we'll have to wait for
Disgusting.
2018. Maybe 2018 we do a live podcast there.
Live from the Delaware Pumpkin Circuit
Yeah.
with Dogfish Head.
All right, let's put that one down in pen.
Rehoboth.
Rehoboth.
Put it in the books. Well, that is sad. It's a shame we have to end the episode on such sad news.
Then let's
but-
end on a happy note.
Ugh, now you're extending the episode.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shorty. It's your birthday. We'll see you next week and sip Bacardi, because this is a beer show, and a wine show, and a liquor show, and a cider